that's probably good. Welcome back to the Reaction Sleepover. This is where we get cozy and react to stuff. Hence the title. Today in particular, we're doing more Bridezillas, so grab your blankets, grab your snacks, and let's head on into it. We're going to start once again with a story submitted by you guys. So if you have a story, whether it's your own or you saw recently, and Bridezilla or otherwise, put it down in the comments or go to the Reddit page and submit it there, and you'll get a chance for it to be in the video. One time we had a wedding where it was a cultural custom to have all women on one side and all men on the other. This request was denied by our management as per the size of that wedding. We simply did not have enough staff size of equal numbers to support both sides. It was nothing against the culture, we just didn't have enough male staff to serve 400 guests alone in an 800 person wedding? Oh, okay, you know what? That probably means the people in the wedding and the guests. My mind just went straight to 800 person wedding. What could 800 people even do? They'd be walking down the aisle for just hours. Even though the request was very much denied, the bride and groom did not inform the guests that the staff were not going to be adhering to that rule. Oh no. Communication is great to have when you have it. When dinner service started, a female server began carrying a large tray of 4 large pans of soup to the male side of the room. A middle-aged guest suddenly ran up and grabbed her and tried to drag her to the other side of the hall. Get off me! This caused her to spill hot soup everywhere, including all over herself, and got some nasty first and second degree burns. Well, yeah, if someone's grabbing and dragging her like a friggin' sack of potatoes, what did they expect to happen? The guest who grabbed her wasn't harmed at all, but the police were called, and after an argument with the bride and groom, management canceled the wedding with both families threatened to sue. Oh, really? It's not like one of your people caused a disturbance so bad that one of their staff members got severely burned. They never did and were forced to pay all the fees of the wedding cost, even though it only lasted 2 minutes into the dinner service. That all happened in 2 minutes. Jeez, serves them right. They didn't even talk. Why do people just have selective hearing? Especially about important things. Important details like, sorry, we can't accommodate your cultural thing. Nothing against you, we just literally can't do that. They just don't even bother to communicate that with literally anyone. I've visited this page many times. Is this supposed to be a dig at me, Google? I know I go here a lot. I'm trying to provide content, okay? This is cross-posted by someone. I'm not leaving without first sharing a Bridezilla with a capital B. Am I the a-hole for not helping my sister with her wedding because I'm not in the bridal party? My sister and I aren't the best friends, but we have a pretty good relationship. Good enough that when she got engaged, I assumed that I would either be the maid of honor or at least a bridesmaid. She ended up not asking me despite having a bridal party of 10. But I didn't say anything even though I was a little hurt. I totally get that it's her wedding and I'm not entitled to be in her wedding party and eventually got over it. A little afterwards, my best friend got engaged and asked me to be a maid of honor, and I happily dived into the responsibility, and it's been a lot of fun for the both of us. I've already been able to plan and execute a lot that has both made the experience fun for my friend and also a lot less stressful. On to the issue. My sister's maid of honor honestly dropped the ball. I know I'm going to be biased, but I've received complaints from family members and other friends. She hasn't put any effort into helping my sister with her wedding, didn't plan anything, never responds to my sister's messages, and just generally isn't interested at all. Do you know what you said yes to? None of my sister's other bridesmaids are stepping up either. They all have a reason for why they can't spend more time on my sister's wedding. My sister recently approached me to plan everything for her. Bridal shower, bachelorette, and the actual wedding. She wants me to give her the same experience I've given my friend. Maybe you should have asked me. I was a little offended because she only asked me after she saw what a great job I did for someone else. But she's my sister, so I told her I'd be willing to help if she made me a bridesmaid. Aww, you're a really nice person. I feel like it's the least she could do, and it would make me feel less like an errand girl and really part of the wedding. Wait, she didn't even ask for you to be part of the bridal party? But she wants... That's weird as heck. She didn't even ask for you to be part of it. She just wanted you to do stuff. You're like, I'll do it if you hire me. That's if you... Oh, eyelash. I'll do that if this is a job that you pay me for. She refused and said that I'd make the numbers off and that I didn't have the look. The look. Probably fake
as heck.
She was trying to accomplish, which really offended me. Like, at this point, I'm just pissed. Like, if she asked really nicely, maybe even apologized for not making her a bridesmaid at first, and then been super accommodating, super nice, like, maybe she'd have a chance. But she's just, like, feeling entitled to this. Huh? Sweetie, this is not how it works. People don't owe you anything. So I said fine. Why'd you do that?
Don't enable the behavior.
She doesn't deserve that. So I said fine, I don't have to be part of the wedding, but then she needs to hire me as a wedding planner. Ah, because I'm not doing this for free. Exactly what I just said. We're geniuses. It's like, for me to deal with you, you have to pay me for it. It takes a huge time commitment to do all of this work. She went crying to mom and dad now, and great. And they're all calling me an a-hole because I should do it as a sister. But she's basically asking me to do hours of work for free, which I feel like isn't fair. Especially since she's not even part of the bridal party. That still is boggling my mind. How did that not come up in the conversation? Did her sister just come up to her and go like, yeah, I saw you're doing a great job with your friend and all. Can you do that for me? Do you have anything else to ask me?
Dear sister of mine.
Now my family is saying I'm ruining her special day by being selfish and making it all about me, so I'm starting to doubt myself. Don't. Hold your ground. You are not being an a-hole at all. You're honestly being really reasonable. You are even still willing to do it, just with boundaries, which rightfully so you put there. Ugh. Totally a bridezilla. Totally not the a-hole. Truly was a capital B and a sister. Bridezilla sister.
BS.
My husband just texted me, save me, I'm bored. Nah, I'm not. I'm having fun. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send him memes. This is, for once, it's not the mother-in-law who's in the wrong. Is it a full moon? Why, yes, because the full moon is the time where she sheds her skin and turns into a werewolf. How else am I gonna explain how any of this makes sense? Mother-in-law got married a year ago. We did not attend as it was last minute and would be extremely expensive between flights, hotels in that area, and finding a babysitter for our son. I explained to her that it was finances and she seemed to understand. I never got the sense there were bad feelings. I loved her dress. It was a cocktail dress as it was a casual wedding, but I would love something like that for my reception dress. We are currently planning our wedding and doing so on a budget. Mother-in-law is kind of notorious for asking how she can help and then not helping, but I figured why not give it a shot. When she asked, I mentioned that if she still had her dress and had no plans for it, I thought it was so beautiful and I'd love to borrow it. Borrow. Either you're a bunny or you don't know how to spell. Maybe both. But if she wants to save it, of course I would understand. Mother-in-law said it would be fine, as it was just sitting around and she had no use for it. She genuinely seemed like she would be happy to give it to me. Well, she gave it to me, and it clearly hadn't been cleaned or even washed. There's dried champagne on it, something on the bodice she claims is frosting or whipped cream or something, and glitter. I'm not sure if it would even come out as it is delicate silk. Honestly, my emotions just kicked in, and I snapped at her and asked if this was some I hate my daughter-in-law crap or some revenge for not going to her wedding. Ooh, yikes. She looked confused and said no. I said, well, clearly she must be mad at me or something because she didn't even mention the dress was dirty and damaged. She called me selfish and stormed off. Also took the dress with her, but then tossed it on the grass. And left it there. Is it still there to this day? Now her husband is pissed and said I made her cry and she did nothing wrong because why should she wash it if she wasn't going to wear it again? And the family is saying it isn't her fault. She just kind of ditzy, which is always their excuse, and to be honest, I don't really believe it. I kind of understand the, being kind of bummed out that the dress is kind of dirty and stuff, but that reaction seems a little extreme. And honestly, the way this started, you're describing why you couldn't go, and maybe it's because the title of the cross post kind of already set me up to think that this is a bridezilla, so maybe that's why the first of the story already felt passive aggressive. Because it just kind of felt like excuses of why they didn't go. This kind of seemed like she already has some bad feelings towards her mother-in-law and there's something bubbling under the surface waiting for an opportunity to blow up at her. I don't know. I can kind of understand where she's coming from of oh, I was really hoping to wear this, but it's it's kind of dirty and it's, whatever. So it's not going to work out. That is a bummer, especially if she really liked the dress, but it's not the end of the world that this dress is not gonna work out for whatever reason. There are other dresses. Especially if this is just a reception dress. The main thing is the wedding dress. It makes sense that you'd spend a lot on that. But for a reception dress, you can just, I don't know, Get something nice but cheap? What an entitled little girl this bride is. Future mother-in-law did nothing wrong. It was her dress. She could have played paintball in it and dyed it orange. She was still willing to let this girl wear it. Bride only had to take the dress to get it cleaned. First, she needed to try it on to see if it would even fit properly. I thought about that too. Why have a dress cleaned if it isn't going to fit the next bride? I would first check to see if it fit. Then I would have it cleaned. Oh, and being me, I would have it cleaned when I returned it too. Edit, I did borrow my wedding gown and I had it cleaned after I wore it and returned it. Yeah, honestly, instead of blowing up at her mother-in-law for not doing something that most people do not do, I hope I said that correctly, she could have been like really nice and be like, yeah, I'm gonna borrow it, but I'm also gonna clean it, you know, to like give it back to her all nice. That could have been so wholesome and she went and ruined it.
Like the wench she is.
Am I the a-hole for not returning my mom's ring?